A very good morning, very good afternoon, good evening to everybody who's joining us from around the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Women Empowered Global African Women Leadership Forum on our online global academy. I'm Sunila Jayasuriya. I'm the CEO founder of Women Empowered Global, and we are so excited to have all of you here. We have sisters joining us from all across Africa, from Sri Lanka, and we have the US. And drum roll, I am so excited to introduce to you personally the one and only Boldness Coach from California, USA, Vaneese Johnson. So, Vaneese Johnson is a global speaker, a leadership coach, author, certified career management coach, business and personal brand strategist. She helps business professionals to be bold in their approach to amplify their brand presence, grow their business, and make a purposeful impact in the world. She has also recently founded a movement, a global movement called No Permission Needed, where she invites women to take up residence in the realm of self-trust, self-acceptance, and self-direction to own and live the life they were born to live. She's also the author of the book on boldisms that will disrupt your pattern of self-talk. And she also recently did a global tour. And I'm so excited and honored that she's an award-winning global speaker. She's globally recognized, and she's also in our Women Empowered Global Network. And she's also a leader, a game changer in what she does. She goes around the world changing lives and making a global impact. And she's also not only globally renowned, and I'm so honored on behalf of Women Empowered, but she's also my sister from another mother. And she and I go way back to the Women's Economic Forum where we first met, and it's just been sisterly love after that. So with that introduction to this powerful, amazing lady, I'm so excited. You know why? We have the Boldness Coach going to talk to you about how to develop a business strategy mindset. Yay! And I'm going to put it over to Vaneese, and I'm going to basically put her as a spotlight speaker. So her screen is going to blow up. She's got a presentation for you. And don't worry, after she's done, we are going to officially open up for Q&A. So you personally have the opportunity to ask absolutely any questions from Vaneese. So stay tuned, and that's going to kick off soon, right after she presents to you. All right, so over to you, Vaneese. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Sunila. So I'm going to share my screen so that we can get into it. Good morning, beautiful women from the USA side, and from Sri Lanka, and from Africa, and any place else in the world that you may be joining. I am super happy to be here with you to share some really amazing, powerful, and impactful information. Here's what I want you to do to make this presentation really valuable to you. Get yourself a pen or pencil and paper. You are going to want to jot down some of your thoughts as I move through this conversation so that you don't lose them. Because here's the thing, Sunela's going to open this up for Q&A at the end, but because there's so much rich content that I'm going to share with you, you may think to yourself, oh, I'm going to remember to ask that. And I doubt that you probably will, because it'll be something else juicy right after that point. So please take notes so that way that you can make sure that you capture. I see Joanna grabbed her notebook. Joanna, what an amazing woman you are. I see your notebook in your hand. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch my screen so that you can see the presentation. And just really, really super excited to be here. All right, let's share.
Ladies, I'm just going to make a quick comment here.
Sure.
I'm going to put everybody's video on hold and have your mics muted, just so that we make sure we have a good bandwidth and internet connection, because we have more people on the chat. And during Q&A, we will open the videos up. So can I request everybody here, except for Vaneese, to have your videos shut out, keep it off, and then during Q&A, we'll come back on. Thank you.
Please confirm, Sunela, that you can see my screen.
It's perfect. We see your screen, Vaneese.
Yeah. Wonderful. So let's get into this, ladies. So excited. So a little bit about me. Sanella already mentioned it, but I'm just going to do a quick recap for those of you that are just joining. That is me and my new book. It is titled Bold Isms, Disruptive Thoughts to Help You to Live Bold, Big, and Bad. So who am I? I am the Boldness Coach, and I hope that you will be able to concur at the end of this presentation and our time together. I'm a global leadership coach. I'm a global keynote speaker, an international author, and a brand strategist, a certified brand strategist, and the founder of the global movement No Permission Needed. I help women to live a life of significance while being unapologetic about owning their boldness in the world. That statement is going to be really important because this represents a brand statement, and it represents a way that you can be able to amplify your voice, is to be really clear who are you and who you serve in the world. But again, we'll get into that topic in a little bit. So here's what we're discussing today. First thing that we're going to get into is the mind shift. Nothing that I say will matter if you are approaching this conversation today with an old mindset. Then we're going to get into the business strategy mindset, which is what we all came for, right? And then, girl, own your boldness. That's how we're going to round the discussion out today. So let's talk about the power of perspective. So one of the things I want to do, I'm going to reduce this. Okay. I'm moving something around on my screen because it was blocking part of my text. So let's talk about the power of perspective. This is really huge. We're into the mindset shift part of the conversation. So here's the deal. Everything is perspective, right? It's how you see the world. So perspective, a particular way of viewing or considering something. You want to really think about your perspective, and you want to think about how are you viewing your circumstances, whatever those things are, because how you view them ultimately will shape the actions, the mindset, the energy, everything around how you will be approaching some of this content that we're talking about today. So is this glass half full or is it half empty? And I know you've heard that saying before, but again, it's perspective. I tend to see my glass always as half full, which means that there is more room in the glass for more possibilities, more opportunities. So really start to think about how are you looking at your world, right? So here you are sitting on the edge of possibilities in your life. So think about that for a moment. Visualize that mental picture that what you're doing is you're sitting on the edge of possibilities in your life. What does the world of business look like from your perspective? Do you see the world of business having lots of possibilities for you? Do you see the world of business having a place for you in the world? Or perhaps the world of business can serve as an entree to creating a place for you in the world. Do you see the world of business from a perspective of there are enough customers, there's enough revenue, there's enough opportunity, there are plenty of relationships. So really start to think about the perspective. How are you seeing the possibilities for what you're about to venture on, whether that's becoming an emerging entrepreneur or whether that's expanding as an existing entrepreneur? So here's where the work comes in for you to do. So between these slides, I have this slide, which is going to prompt you to start taking some notes. What's your perspective? So I want you to jot down 3 things from your perspective of how you are seeing the world around you as it relates to you and the opportunity for you to become an entrepreneur or for you to expand your role as an entrepreneur, with your business. So think about what are your 3 perspectives that you are looking from. And as I mentioned and continue on, you're going to see this slide pop up between different topics. So this is the prompt for you to capture your thoughts. So we can have a really rich Q&A at the end of the presentation. I love this picture. So beautiful, so full of life. Because here's the real truth. Your reality is a construct of what you believe. If you believe that your day is going to be amazing today, that you are going to make some really great contacts today, and that the contacts you make will lead you that much closer to becoming the reality of an entrepreneur or expanding your business, if you believe that, that is absolutely what's going to happen. And here is how that belief can show up. You know, you can meet a powerful person and an influential person in the line at the grocery store, at the coffee shop, at the petrol station. So if you believe that great things are going to happen for you, then the world, the energy, the universe will rise up to meet you where your thoughts are, where your perspective is. So just think about that. I want you to just always be mindful and disrupt your old pattern of thinking, you know, from those old perspectives, right? Is the glass half full or is it glass half empty? And what is the reality that you are constructing for yourself? Let's talk about the power of mindset. Ooh, these two are really, really important to shift. So just take a moment and think, but here's a definition of mindset that I kind of merged a little bit together with from the dictionary, but also from my perspective and experience, but also from how I work with my clients, right? So mindset, a collection of thoughts and beliefs that shape a disposition, attitude, mood, and mental behavior towards an experience or an effort. So think about that for a moment. A collection of thoughts and beliefs that shape a disposition. The reality is, with the mindset, you just didn't wake up this morning with the mindset that you have. It has taken you a period of time in your life that you have been collecting these thoughts, these belief systems. And most of them initially come from people that impart them on us, you know, when we're very young in our lives, and we're not really able to shape a belief system. But what happens as life progresses on and we become into who we are, then we take those belief systems and we start operating from them as facts. So I want you to think about your disposition towards certain things in your life that you may be operating from. And question, do those belief systems serve you well at this point, given that you want to be strategic in how you are growing and expanding your business or coming into entrepreneurship? You know, does the disposition, those collection of beliefs, does the disposition that they have helped you to create really benefit you now? You know, a disposition could be something where we are being judgmental, you know, so think about your judgmental disposition. Is it serving you well in how you are judging maybe interaction or judging certain people, judging certain cultures? Those are things that you get to think about. And also the mental behavior towards an experience. You know, some people start off with the mindset of being defeated before an action actually starts. In the world of entrepreneurship, you truly have to check your mindset because every day it's a different adventure. So you want to think about what's your mental behavior towards the experiences that you are stepping into or the experiences that you want to step into. There have been so many people that we can look at on record that perhaps their lives didn't start off in probably, the most exciting way. Some people had pretty dismal starts to their journey of their life, and some of them have become multi-billionaires. And even if they have not become multi-billionaires, but some of them have had a huge impact on how they have shaped some of the ways of being in the world, and how they have helped people from places that they have never been before, because their mindset, and they believed that they could do it. They believed that they had a valuable skill or a valuable talent, or even a valuable resource that could change the world. So check your perspective and check your mindset. So here's this moment where you can jot down what are three points in the mindset perhaps that you might need to shift to get out of. Perhaps you need to stop being judgmental. Perhaps you need to be open. Perhaps you need to have an attitude of gratitude and know that everything in the world, in the universe, is all working for the greater good, so that you can be the best person you can, and to be who you were born to be in the world with your talent. So check your mindset. Excuse me, I have a lingering cough. So now let's get into the business strategy mindset. So I hope that those first two topics have given you pause to really think about how you are showing up in the world, so that you can be able to absorb some of this information that we're talking about. Here's the reality. This is not a you have to do everything that I'm talking about this morning. You really have to consider where you're coming from, what your capacity looks like to be able to engage some of these tips that I'm going to share with you. And I'm sure that in the network, there's an opportunity for you to go back and visit this conversation, so that you can be able to move through it strategically and execute some of these tips that will work best for you. So here's the biggest thing before you get into the business strategy mindset. Ask yourself this question: what's your why? One of the things I do a lot of entrepreneurial teaching, and I do a lot of coaching with emerging and existing entrepreneurs. And everyone kind of comes to me from the same place. They come to me from a place of growth. They either want to start their business or they want to expand their business. And one of the pivotal questions I ask them in the beginning of our session is, what's your why? It's important to really be clear and to identify and define your why, because your answer is what will drive your actions, not only when times are really good, but also when times are really challenging. And you may be in a growth spurt in your business, or you may be in the valley of growth in your business. So you really want to get clear about what's your why. It's not enough to say, oh, I want to make more money. Well, you can make more money just by sheer virtue of selling products. Now, whether or not the money is consistent, that's another webinar. But you really want to think about, really what impact will your services have in the world? How will they help people to change problems, in their life, solve problems in their life? Will your why help you to step into the fullness and the richness of who you are with your talents and gifts? Will your why create opportunities for other people? So you really have to answer the question, what is your why for you wanting to take your business to the next level? Here's the check-in. What's your why? So take a few seconds and just jot down maybe just one word, of what your why is. So when we get back to the Q&A portion, that you can perhaps pose that question if you want to expand on your why or get a little deeper or clarity around your why. Here's the bottom line. I can't tell you your why. What I can do is help you to probe with some questions, and maybe that will lead you on the pathway. And your why may not be something that you can come up with an answer now. Maybe your why is something that you're going to have to take time to discover. Here's the next component that you're going to need to help you to get really clear with your business strategy mindset. You got to have a vision. You absolutely need to have a vision. Too many people get so excited about the fact that they want to start this business. They get so excited about the product or the service itself, and they don't have a clear vision of what it actually looks like, the business itself. They don't get clarity around, how will the business need to unfold. They don't get clarity around how will people actually use or benefit from their product and service. They don't have a vision of how they're going to respond to challenges, to opportunities. So I really want you to take a moment and think about the vision of what you're creating. The next slide that's coming up, if you have a cell phone, you may want to screenshot the next slide that's going to come up, because it's actually going to give you a vision statement. And again, if you're not able to do that, you might want to push print screen. I'm not sure if it'll work in Zoom, but you can give it a try. But you're definitely going to want to capture that. And again, I know that Sanella and Women Empowered will make this available to you again. But think about the vision. And here's a vision statement. This is an example of what I help my clients to do to get clarity with their vision. So I want to take you to the right side of your screen first and read the statement example. Then I will tell you how to be able to pull it together from the left side. In the next 3 years, I will become an online international marketing consultant, earning $100,000 by delivering cutting-edge marketing campaigns to online small businesses who want to create a global presence. I will start by leveraging my professional connections that have global relationships. Now, that might be a mouthful, and it might even sound interesting and exciting. Here's the reality. Remember, I do this for a living. So this takes some time to construct. But over on the left side, I have given you some legend color markers that you can connect with the statements to help you to craft your own vision statement example. So time frame, it says in the next 3 years. We've got to have a time frame by which we are executing this vision. If you do not give yourself a time frame, there's no sense of urgency. You're just gonna kind of lollygag around and nothing really will move forward. And I'm sure that you can connect with this, because there's some people in your life, or maybe you've said it before, that says, oh, one day I'll get to it. In the new future, that's what I'm working towards. That's what I want to do, but never have a time frame. You need to have a time frame with your vision to give you a sense of urgency. Then next is the title. What will you become? Who will you be? Because owning this title by this statement saying an online international marketing consultant, this is going to drive all of your effort and energy into really understanding what is an online international marketing consultant. Is there a certification? Are there classes I should take? Also, it's a way to differentiate yourself from your competition. So that title is what will drive all of your educational efforts, but also it's a way to identify networks, to identify associations. So you want to give yourself a title, and the title might change over time, but starting with no title at all, people are going to say, who are you? What do you do? Give yourself a title. Estimated annual sales. You've got to know how much money you want to make in your business. Your money ties into your time frame, ties into your title. Also, your money becomes benchmark measures to know, am I working towards a revenue goal, a financial goal? I don't know about any of you. I'm in business to make money. I have bills to pay. I have a lifestyle I want to live. I certainly want to travel the world and come and meet you, some of you face to face. I've had the benefit to be able to go to beautiful Sri Lanka. To meet the women of Women Empowered. But however, there's more I want to do. And money is one of the benefits and the rewards that I see in my business for me. And it's one of my measures to say, I'm on the right track. So you want to earn some money in your business, because it will validate you to a degree of you being successful in your business. And then customers and their problems. Who are you serving? There has to be a target group that you're serving that needs your product and your services. So you want to think about, who are you serving? Note, this may change over time as you evolve into getting clear about who you are in the business world, what your title is, and what needs you'll solve for them. So don't worry that if the vision that you come up with, if you're like, well, could this change? And what if I want to change my mind? You absolutely will do that, because you're going to have a birthday every year, hopefully. And what you want today may not be what you want 5 or 10 years from now. So your vision can definitely evolve. The geographic scope, where are you going to be serving people? And then how will you execute your vision? Here's the reality. No one woman is an island. We're all here this morning because we are a community, and we're here because we know the collective has power. So think about who will help you to execute your vision. Here we are with our placeholder for asking yourself the question, what is your business vision? So take just a few seconds and jot down, what is your business vision? What do you see for yourself in this vision that you have for your business? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to serve? How much money do you want to make? Where do you want to serve people? They're formidable questions that need to be answered. Let's talk about a well-defined business brand. Now, it's no mistake that I put my picture up here. I don't need to see myself online regular at all, because I see myself so much. I live with me, right? But I wanted to start off the well-defined business brand from a visual from you. As you know from what Sanella introduced me as and all of the advertisements, I'm known as the Boldness Coach. And I need to look like that which I claim that I am. So it's important that your brand is defined not only in text or in language, but that your brand is also defined visually. Do you look and sound like the brand that you are creating for your business? And we'll get into the definition of the brand in a moment. But I just want you to consider that. No, I didn't wake up like this. I wish I did, though. However, when it comes to being out there and networking and promoting myself, then it's important for me to visually look like the brand that I am representing, because it gives credibility to what I'm about to discuss with people. If I don't look like I'm bold and I don't stand out in the crowd like I'm bold, then people won't believe that I'm the boldness coach. And I will also impart this onto you. Find your level of bold. Your level of bold may not be red colored hair. Your level of bold may not be bright colors. And whatever your level of bold is, find your level of bold and embrace that, because that is part of defining your business brand. So here is what branding really is. It is the intentional planning of how your business will grow and develop its image and reputation over time. I want to repeat this. It is the intentional planning of how your business will grow and develop its image and reputation over time. So here again, look at my picture to the left of your screen. I have products. I have t-shirts that say bold, big, and bad. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to be out networking, if I'm on a stage speaking, and whether that's a panelist, a moderator, but I oftentimes make sure that there's some element of boldness that I bring with me to the conversation. It's intentional. So even this morning when I got up to get dressed, you see my beautiful fuchsia necklace on. That is a bold statement. So that is intentional, is that when I show up in the world, I think about how will I be perceived. Also, the presentation itself has an energy of boldness around it. So you want to really think about, as you're moving forward with your brand, be really intentional. And you might say, well, how do I become intentional, from that example as an online international marketing consultant? The way you become intentional on that is that you have to know what the trends are, what's happening, in the world of marketing online. You should be prepared to speak about topics. You should be prepared to share tips with people. So that is intentional planning, that when you go out and you're advertising that you are this person, that what comes out of your mouth supports that. Also, the imagery that people will need to see of you online, on your social media presence, the activities and campaigns that you initiate on your own business. That's another way of being intentional about growing your reputation and your business image over time intentionally. The second half of the branding description, it aims to establish a significant and differentiated presence in the marketplace that attracts and retains loyal customers. This is actually how I became the Boldness Coach, because I'm a certified career management coach. And I found myself every couple of years flip flopping, with a new name and trying to find my lane. And my request to the universe, and of course to God, was like, listen, I am so tired of every 2 years flip flopping, trying to find a new lane for myself and my brand. Plus, it's costing me a lot of money every 2 years to update a website, get a new website, get new business cards, get new graphic design, so on and so forth. I said, I want to find my own lane, but I want to find my lane that is authentic to who I am, authentic to my energy, authentic to my voice and my stamp, my footprint in the world. And this is how the Boldness Coach was born. So that way, I could be able to have a significant differentiation in the marketplace, and that I could attract and retain loyal customers who want some boldness in their life. Those customers who want to find their level of bold. So I encourage you to really identify what your brand is. Here is another area of intentional branding. Excuse me. So the picture on the left, let's go back, the first picture that's up. Sanella mentioned that she and I met at WEF, Women Economic Forum in India back in 2017. You can see the beautiful Sanella. She is the third from the left on the screen in that blue dress with the pink flowers. And then I am the second from the right. So she and I actually met online in a Facebook group, because we were all sharing and chatting about going to India and being a part of this huge annual women's event. But it was intentional to go to India, to be on the stage as the Boldness Coach, so that I could introduce myself to the world. Here is my beautiful friend Aruni, who I met in Sri Lanka, and her company did all of my destination management planning when I was in Sri Lanka for Colombo and Kandy. So thank you, beautiful Aruni. So Aruni is holding my sign, no permission needed. Sanella mentioned about my global movement, no permission needed. And I took signs with me from the US, around the world, so the countries that I visited, and I took pictures of women with those signs, with that sign, so that I could be intentional with my branding. So you can do that in your own city. You don't have to travel the world, but is there a statement that your product or service is making? Are there samples that you need to give out, or samples that you need to have people engaging with, taking videos or taking pictures of them with your product and then reposting them as a picture? Here I am in front of the Business Mingle sign. This was a fantastic way that Sanella used pictures of women from attending her event, the inaugural launching, of the Business Mingle, to be able to later use for branding. And once again, here are some other beautiful women from Sri Lanka that we all posed and took the picture together. So I wanted to be able to demonstrate that this no permission needed is really a movement from women from all walks and backgrounds around the world, not just one particular group of women. So this is intentional. And if you're following me on social media, if you're following me on Instagram, you are going to see a lot of intentional branding pictures and statements, comments. You're going to see me share information that all evokes the energy of boldness. So here we are asking you this question: how will you define your brand? So what are 3 points that you could write down as ideas of how you will define your brand? The brand of yourself as well as the brand of your business. So let's look at a good business model. So I've been talking about in the previous slides, your mindset, of course, as well as giving you some ideas about your vision and ideas about your brand. But none of this matters unless we have a really good business model. The next slide that's coming up, you may want to take a picture of it with your mobile, or you may want to screenshot it, but definitely I gave you a web address where you can download this tool, and it's a free tool that you can get online. And this is a tool that I teach in some of my in-person business classes. This is what we call a business model canvas. So please jot that note down. This is what we call a business model canvas. What this canvas is, this is a model for you to be able to complete this model so that you can be able to see the flow of how your business will come to life. So let me explain the flow of this to you so that hopefully it makes sense. Let's start in the middle where we have the package. So that's the package in the middle where the arrows are coming from and going to. It looks like a present. This is your value proposition. So translation, this is your product or your service that you're bringing to the marketplace that has a value that will help your customers to solve problems in their life. They could be solving a problem that a product would, help them with, or they could be solving a problem with a service that you would provide. So you really want to think about, what is that value proposition that's valuable to your customers? Let's follow the red arrow, right? So the red arrow at the top, customer relationships. This is talking about how you will build relationships with potential customers based on the value that your product is bringing to the marketplace. Follow that arrow around, it goes to customer segments. That has to do with target audiences. Who are your customers? Are they individuals? Are they businesses? Are they men or are they women? Are they organizations? So you have to really think about customer segments. Who will value the product or service that you're creating? Also, on the other side of your value proposition are the channels. How will you distribute this product or service to the marketplace? Are people going to buy it in the store? Are they going to get it online? So how will people actually be able to get the value? Will it come through a YouTube video? So you see how those circles intertwine and go and flow with each other. They're all necessary on the customer side. And then at the bottom with the red arrows, it's revenue. This is how are you going to make money, and how would that money circulate back into the business to perhaps fine-tune your products or services? So you absolutely need to have a model on one side of your business to connect with your customers and get that product to the marketplace and make money. On the other side of the canvas model, you see the key elements that you need to help this business to function. So let's follow the blue arrow again. It's going to cost you money to pull together your product or your service. To what amount of money? That depends on the kind of business that you're creating. You need key resources. What are those key resources that you need to be able to deliver your product? Is it packaging that you need, for that? Is it graphic design that you need, to visually pull your package together? What are the key resources? Packaging. Is there a cost of goods to deliver it? What is that? Another key resource could be your mental capacity. Maybe what you have is in your brain and you need to take it out of your brain and put it into something tangible for people, a book, a workbook. Also, key partners. Who are the people that you need to partner with to get this information out into the marketplace, or perhaps to help strengthen you as a business owner? I would say Women Empowered is a key partner. They are one of the partners who can help you to connect with coaches, with business coaches. They're a partner that can introduce you to classes that you perhaps need to take. And then what key activities do you need to do? Getting out networking. Maybe you need to become a speaker to put yourself in front of your target audience. Maybe you need to pull together a team that can help you to execute this. So bottom line is, you're going to need a really good business model to be able to pull this business strategy together so you can actually see it coming to realization for you. And at the bottom, remember to Google Business Model Canvas, and it's a free tool that you can find online to download. The free tool won't have any of these elements included in it. It'll just be blank and you can fill in the boxes. So how will you design your business model? So think about 3 areas that you would put into your business model, or think about 3 areas that are going to be really necessary for you to execute your business model. So think about 3 areas that will be necessary for you to execute your business model. So let's look at continual investment in learning. This is another key component in having a strong business strategy, is that you absolutely have to, it is a must that you have continual investment in your learning. Why? Because the world changes. Technology moves us so fast. Customers are savvier now. So you have to really think about this. So in the upper side, technology is so important for small businesses. One of the things that I've had to do in my business over probably the last maybe 2 months is I've had to add Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, QuickBooks, and I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I've had to add those different, Zelle. I've had to add about 5 different technology components on my mobile apps, different ways that I can accept payment from my clients. So I used to just use PayPal. I used to just use QuickBooks, but my corporate clients don't take PayPal. They have to have QuickBooks. And a lot of my clients don't have PayPal. Some of them want to do Cash App because it's connected directly to their bank account and they can transfer the money instantly. So you really want to think about technology. Really, get really clear about what technological tools that you need to help strengthen your business. Do your research. I am forever reading about trends that are happening in branding. I am forever reading about trends that are happening with small business. Do your research. People value a resource that knows what's happening and trending in their area of business and ways that can solve them problems. Also, when you are knowledgeable, then it allows you to command a premium price for your services. Join conferences or go to business meetings. Do not be isolated. Get yourself out there so that you can connect with other professionals like you. Somebody knows something that you want to know, but they can't find you if you're sitting at home behind your computer. They can't find you if you're only going to your office to work. So get out there and network. And then take online classes. This webinar right here is a really excellent resource. There's so many free online classes that are out there that you can glean information from that can really be valuable content for you in conversation, and perhaps valuable content that you can impart in your business. So invest in your education. So let's move to about girl, get your boldness straight. And I want to take a step back for a moment. I didn't put that slide in there. It looks like it didn't make it in. But I really want you to think about what are 3 ways that you can continue your education. So jot that down. What are the 3 ways that you can commit to continuing your education to help you to become a stronger business owner, whether you're emerging or whether you're existing? Because here's the name of the game. You need to grow your business, even if you're just starting. So think about what you're going to need education-wise to be able to do that. And girl, let's get your boldness straight. I want you to be bold, big, and bad in all that you do. So how do you do that? I need you to be like a boss. I need you to do what bosses do. And I need you to have what bosses have. So if you want to be a boss, then start acting like a boss. Start using conversational tones that reflect that you are somebody in charge. Use your voice. Do the things that bosses do. Get really clear about your business model. Get really clear about what it is, your vision. Do your vision statement and be prepared to tell people, and have the energy, have the attitude that you are a boss. Use your voice. Share what it is with the right people that you're doing in your business. Be confident when you're out there talking to potential customers. Be competent that you know what you're talking about, and you absolutely need to be clear what you're talking about. All of those components can help you to find your voice and own who you say you are and who you are becoming. So I want you to take a moment and really jot down, how will you use your voice in the world of business? How will you use your voice? How will you let people know that you are a boss? What will you do to represent that you are a boss? And what will you have that is a reflection of you being a boss? So jot that down. And again, this is a brand plug because you see me in my vibrant colors. You see me with my book. I had from time to time, I have professional photo shoot done of me because I need it for marketing, and I need to make sure that I'm conveying the right energy and message out there with my brand. It is intentional. So this is from my book, Bold Isms. Give yourself permission to make a mistake and not an excuse for doing nothing. Give yourself permission to make a mistake and not an excuse for doing nothing. So now I want to punt this back over to Sanella because I want to hear your questions. But before, Sanella, I give it back to you, the last slide that I want to share with everyone is you can actually connect with me online. So this is my web address. It's vaneesejohnson.com. You can email me, Vaneese at the Boldness Coach, and you can connect with me on Instagram at the Boldness Coach, and also on my Facebook page at the Boldness Coach. If you like what you've heard today, if something has really sparked excitement in you, if you feel like now you are charged with finding your level of boldness and you want to share it with the world, please comment and tag me on Instagram and comment and tag me on Facebook. Let's not keep this bold goodness a secret. You also can go online and download my book. It does come in a digital bundle. So it comes as a fillable workbook. It has an audio that comes with the book also, and the book itself is digital. So there's no reason and no excuse that you cannot get some boldism in your life, because I've made it digital for you, because I want to make sure that you're hearing my voice as you're moving through and finding your level of boldness and building a strong business strategy mindset. So Sanella, I'm going to turn this back over to you. I'm going to stop sharing so we can take some questions.